Hey everybody, it's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? What a great night this is going to be. As they all are. All the Tuesdays are great for different reasons. First of all, I want to thank you guys for coming back week after week. I noticed our lovely Danielle Alexandria Alchemy has joined us right away. Leo calls you the alarm clock. I don't know if you know that, Danielle. That means like our alarm clock has gone off because we see you pop in. So we started a little bit late tonight because we were doing a few things backstage, but we got it all together now. So thank you everybody for being patient with us. This is Tuesday, March 25th, 2025. And we got a lot we're going to jam in. Now, our guests tonight are Dan and Chrissy Pardo. They are two incredible talents, musicians, singers, just incredible talents. And they happen to be married. And they're just wonderful. So both of them are, Dan's working at Stonewall tonight, so he's taking a few minutes off to talk with us. And then Chrissy's coming from work, so she's going to be there. So it's a lot of that crazy kind of stuff. And we had a friend that was going to join us tonight, Larry Fish, who's an amazing comedian, and he's also a great producer. He produced a lot of stuff on Broadway. And he was going to join us, but he's out of town and couldn't get it. But we'll promo him towards the end. I want to take advantage of the fact that we have Dan Pardo with us. Leo's having a few problems with his camera, so we don't know if we're going to have Leo pop in later or now, whatever. But I think Leo, we could bring Dan in, right? We might as well bring him in early. First of all, hello to Lori Towers. Happy to be my Tuesday film. We are happy to have you, Lori. Lori is married to John Pietero, who we adore. There he is. Hey. Hi, John. By the way, Billy Goffey was over today helping me with some stuff, as Billy always does. He's really great like that. And I don't know if your ears were burning, but we were talking about you guys and how much we love you and how funny you are and all that stuff. So Lori and John are on WFMU Wednesday nights, Sheena's Jungle Room. Go and check that out if you go to www.wfmu.com. Leo usually talks about that because he goes and listens live every Wednesday. It's an amazing show. They really cover a lot of territory. They're music historians, they're DJs, they're musicians, they're writers. They're just incredible people, and they're our friends. So go and check that out. Danielle is DanielleAlexandriaAlchemy.com. You can go and check that out. She has all kinds of services. She's a medium, a spiritual connector, a teacher, past life regressionist. Danielle speaks to the other side. She does it all. If you are someone that would love to expand your spiritual horizons, Danielle's your girl. Okay, Leo, I think you just let me know when is a good time. Oh my God.
I think we're here.
There we are.
Oh, there they are. Hello, you beautiful people.
Hello, Maria. What's the story?
Well, what's the story? Many stories, Dan. First of all, Chrissy, thank you so much for making the effort to get out of work and then come and do this show, because I know it's not easy and I know how hard the city can be. So thank you.
No, thanks for having me.
We appreciate that. So everybody, you've met Dan before because he's been on the show before, but this is Chrissy Pardo, and she is an incredible, like kick-ass singer, incredible, pipes for days, and just like an amazing package of entertainment right there. So Chrissy, we could do a whole hour on just you. We know that. And we've had Dan before. I was scrolling through Facebook maybe like a week or so ago, and I saw that you guys are doing a show together.
Yes.
So that is wonderful. Who wants to talk about it first? Well, so let's just put out the date first. It's Monday, the 31st of March.
Mm-hmm.
So it's upcoming Monday.
It's this coming Monday. Great. At Chelsea Table and Stage, which is a beautiful, beautiful venue with amazing sound. Gorgeous. So that is live at 7 p.m. and we'll put all the information up in a minute. But so you two work together quite a bit, though, right? Don't you have a running show that you do every week? together?
We have a residency at the Hotel Edison in Times Square. So between we sing for mostly the hotel guests and people passing through, and it's a mix of Broadway and pop and other stuff.
Yeah, we kind of just do whatever we want for an hour, which
I
is
love that.
which is really fun. Which could be anything. In fact, what's it called? John Bronson subbed one time. He was like, I was excited to do this for today because I knew we'd be doing some weird random stuff, and I'm like, yeah.
I love that. So you just pick it as you go. I love that.
Yeah, it's very spontaneous. In fact, when some people come and they call it our show, it kind of always rings as untrue, just because like, oh, a show. We were just kind of singing stuff we like.
Yeah.
But this upcoming Monday, this is definitely a show. We have it scripted. We've really worked hard to get the set list right.
Yeah, there's gonna be a band. There's gonna be arrangements. It's gonna be like cabaret-esque.
Oh, I love that. So who's in your band, Chrissy?
So we have a friend of Dan's from Yale, Nate Hoovard, who will be playing guitar. We have a longtime friend, Matt Covey, playing the drums. And then we have the famous Matt Sharpglass playing the bass. And for those of you who...
he is famous, actually. He's amazing.
Yeah, he's famous because not only is he an amazing player, he's also like extremely attractive.
Well, I guess that helps, right? I mean, it doesn't hurt.
In fact, when we were with our director yesterday, he said, "Well, no one can stand in front of Matt because that's just eye candy that we can't afford to lose."
It's true.
But you have to tell Matt to stop being so cute so he doesn't distract people.
Well,
right.
What can you do?
So what do we you don't have to tell me, material because that might you want to keep it a surprise, but are we leaning towards are we mixing it up just like you do with your Hotel Edison show?
Oh yeah.
Even more so, actually.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The show is called Dreams Don't Come True in Pennsylvania, and it's a lot of...
Why? Because that sparked my interest right away.
Oh yeah.
I love it. What's the backstory on the title?
Well, the backstory about that is that, when you're a high school senior in Pennsylvania, you have a choice of either staying in your hometown forever, going to school in a town where you grow up, marrying your high school sweetheart, buying your grandmother's house when she dies, and then living there for the rest of your life, or you can go out and do something else. And both of us chose to go out and do something else. And, a lot of the people who stay, they end up, either working in the family business or, but no one's like a big star, super famous or anything like that. So in order to get any sort of semblance of success, it's somewhere you have to leave, even though it's not a terrible place to grow up.
No, and that's one thing that we want to keep stressing, that this is not we
don't hate Pennsylvania.
A punching bag.
In fact,
PA.
we actually love Pennsylvania.
We have a great deal of pride and loyalty. And we were talking with a friend the other day, and he said, it's like, don't pick on my brother, I'll pick on my brother. It's kind of like, so there's some kind of gentle ribbing, but with love and care, and all the songs are either about Pennsylvania or by people who were born there or from there or inspired by that. And
well, I personally love Pennsylvania. I'm a huge fan of Philly. I think the food in Philly is some of the best in the whole country.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely. Really especially their sandwich game.
Oh, yeah. You really, I agree. And I love the people are so animated and funny and real. Like they're real, and I love that. I love the history. There's so much history. And then you get out there more and it's so pretty. It's beautiful. I love Pennsylvania. I've always loved Pennsylvania. So, so you both were born there?
I was actually born in California, but I moved there when I was 4 months old. Okay. I grew up in Reading, Pennsylvania. Chrissy.
I was born and raised in Pennsylvania. I did not leave until I decided to go to Las Vegas for grad school when I was 23. And that was the first time I left.
Second generation, because her dad was born in Jenkintown.
Well, third actually. Oh. My grandfather was born in Philadelphia in 1920, and his parents were Irish immigrants. So I'm like the third generation of my family to be born in the Philadelphia area.
Oh, I love that. I love history like that. That's how I am in Boston. We're just like Boston Italians, and it's like, but Chrissy, did you always sing or did you start singing later? on, or were you a kid that sang? And
I was a kid that sang. I grew up singing at church, and I sang at home like any other kid, and then I started singing at church, and my family noticed I had a talent for it. In fact, it kind of got weird. I went to a Catholic school,
me
and
too.
one of the moms went up to my mom and said, "I want your daughter to sing at my funeral." And my mom was like, "So she's 7 and you're like 35, and what's that about?" Um, so I always grew up singing. I did musicals in middle school. I did musicals in high school, and then it became time to go to college. And I was like, what should I do for the rest of my life? And there's a part of me that was like, maybe sing, but there was also a part of me that was like, that's not a job.
The Pennsylvania part.
Yeah, the Pennsylvania part of me was like, that's not a job. So go to school for teaching. So I thought I would be a K through 12 music teacher, but I was like, well, I already know how to sing, so maybe I'll study flute. That's hard. Um,
Wow.
so I ended up getting a master's degree in flute performance along the
I'm
way. But
learning so much about you, Chrissy. I love this.
yeah, I've had like 6 lives by now. It's been wild. But on the very first day of summer orientation for college, I met Dan.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yes. So
I
we
love
were
that was my next question. How did you guys meet?
yeah. So we were similarly. I kind of had ideas to be a high school choir director because that was the only kind of career path that I could see, as someone who spent my entire time doing either piano or singing or both.
Right.
And I didn't know about theatrical music direction, and you know,
Well, you
as
did a little bit. A guy wandered into a community theater where you were music directing and saw you and offered you a job right out of high school, and you were
well,
like, "That's not a thing. I have to go to school."
well, that's for another podcast. But no,
I
I
love
did have
that
an
story too.
I had an internship at the Goodspeed Opera House. And I ended up going back there after I finished my degree because I was like, oh, well, this is amazing and fun, and I'm working with all these Broadway people, but I think I'm going to go back to school now. It's like just because it's that inner Pennsylvania. It's like that's what fancy people do. I grew up in Berks County,
Yeah, it's like go to school, get a job, get
Yeah.
married, have baby.
Well, yeah,
Um,
it's that no nonsense kind of buckle down and
Mhm.
be realistic and
oh yeah.
yeah. So is that going back to the title of your show?
Yes.
So that's all kind of that's all part of it, right? Like the mentality of like it's not being negative about Pennsylvania. It's just that you're kind of like realistic, right?
It's a celebration, and because we tell our story and we kind of talk about the motivation of the show and what makes us tick as people, but along the way we uncover some of our shared and personal history and some of the artists that we love to perform. We do some folk music where we do some classical music, we do some rock, we do some musical theater. I've done some new arrangements. We have some
Great.
medleys and mashups.
Well, I know
It's
your arrangements are beautiful, Dan, because I've heard them. I've had the
Thank you.
pleasure of working with you many times, but I know you directed the Mac Awards last year.
That's right. It's similar to the stuff that I did to put those to putting those medleys together.
They were wonderful. You did
Oh,
such a
thank you
good
for saying so.
job. Beautiful.
Yeah. So it's a whole evening of that. But
Yeah.
not too fussy. We do a few songs just kind of straight as they are, and it's nice and refreshing to do something as you'd expect as well.
So have you been rehearsing? You got with the band?
Our first band
that's
rehearsal is
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
The first and only band rehearsal
Plus sound check.
is tomorrow. Yeah.
No, that's the way it goes. And
But
you have all your you have the order and everything already, and
oh
you're
yeah,
ready to
Yep.
go.
Yeah, we've been practicing that for the last 2 weeks. We took 2 weeks to kind of get everything in order. Sorry, a bus going by.
Oh, that's
But yeah,
okay.
we took the last 2 weeks or the first 2 weeks of March to put everything in order, and then the second week of March or the third week of March we started really woodshedding and figuring out like what we wanted to do and what we wanted to say to people, and now it's go time.
I love
Yeah,
it.
we're
kind of
really
been
excited.
it's been fast and furious, and a lot of kind of work up front has paid off, and things are going really smoothly. We had a rehearsal with our background singers. We have a 4-piece band. plus 2 background singers. So at times 4 of
Wow.
us are singing it at once. It's going to be
This is
something special.
really going to be special. I
Yeah.
love this is great. I'm so excited. Now I work on Monday, so I won't be there.
Right.
However, I'm getting
However,
this is what I love about these virtual tickets, because I used to miss everything, and now I have the option to get a live stream ticket. So if you're someone like me that works that night, or you're or you won't get home until whatever it is for you, buy a live stream ticket. You have 24 hours to watch it, which is great, because then when I get home from work, I'll watch it. And it's
Oh, yay. Thank you.
of course. And you get to support your friends, like it's really important to support each other in this business, because we're all doing something that we love and our hearts are poured into it. And we choose the road less traveled. Let's just say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we need to honor each other's dreams by supporting each other. So I'm definitely getting a live ticket, but I suggest even people watching the show that don't know Dan and Chrissy that are watching the show, go ahead and get a live ticket. They're always reasonable, and I love it. Like I'm watching a show now that happened a few days ago, and I had to pause it today because I had things to do, but I'm going to finish it afterwards. You can pause it. That's the beauty of it.
And the good thing about the program that we've put together is, even though it's personal, I mean, that's kind of what makes a cabaret. It's accessible. When it came time for Chrissy to decide what she wanted the show to be about, it's like, I want to have something that's special, but there's some great music out of Philly. There's some great stories out of Philly. Anyone who's curious about, you don't need to know us in order to have a great time.
I totally believe that, and I've heard you a lot, Dan, and then I had the pleasure of being around when Chrissy comes up and sings with you, and it's like, whoa, and then the story that you're married is so great, Now I don't want to keep you too long. I know you have to go to work, so if you have to leave, you just tell me. Okay, I don't want to get you in trouble. Although I'll write you a note, Dan, I'll write you a note. But now let me ask you, do you guys rehearse at home as well? Like, is it the kind of thing that you're getting ready to go to bed and you're like, hey, I just thought of something? Do you do that?
It's mostly, it's the other way around. It's mostly we roll out of bed and we're like in our pajamas and we're like, let's do this.
Right.
Really?
Yeah. We because we mostly have daytime stream, because I work evenings, Dan works nights. But a lot of the times it's like we roll out of bed, we work for a couple hours, and then for the first couple weeks of the process, like with ideas and stuff, our schedules are very opposite sometimes. So if I have an idea, I'll just like text it over. If Dan's done an arrangement that he's working on, in the lobby of 528th Avenue, he'll email that over to me.
I love that.
And then when we can find a time, we'll put all the pieces together. But it requires a lot of discipline, and it requires a lot of work, just like a relationship, or just like anything else. So
but it's really been a gift, Maria, because anytime I've in the last couple in the last year, I've put together a few cabarets with some friends and collaborators, and every time we have to do a show, we're running a rehearsal space. They're paying for my time, and with us, I'm at home. I'm doing our own arrangements. We rehearse in our living room. It's like, I understand why husband and wife teams, or couples used to be so popular, and hopefully we're going to bring it back.
No, you're right, and it was more popular years ago when with writers and like the Bergmans that comes to mind. I always think about all the beautiful stuff that they wrote together.
Oh, gosh,
and just so many great, Renee Taylor and her husband Joe Bologna, they wrote so much comedy, and they loved working together. That's how John and that's on our show tonight. John and Lori, they work together. They're both on the radio together, and they do so much. So I love that. I really respect that, because it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody, And is your family coming? Or are they gonna have a chance to see your show?
Your dad is coming.
My dad's coming. Yeah. My sister's live streaming.
My sister is in the show.
What?
Yeah.
He's a singer?
as a singer, as a dancer, as a fiddle player, I come from a very musical family.
Well, I love
Um,
that. And you're Irish, so that makes sense. All that.
yes.
My Irish friends are so musical.
Yeah,
I love it, and they're always playing something. They're always picking up something, and it's like, so I love
it's a big part of the culture, keeping it alive and learning the music and stuff. And it's funny because a lot of this is because of my mom, but she's actually not Irish. She is from the Philippines.
Oh, how
But
cool!
yeah, but she's the one who drove us to our Irish dance lessons. She's the one who got the Irish music lessons for my sisters, and a lot of it was because her, and she really wanted us to be engaged in the culture. And in Philly, it's very easy to do so because 10% of Philadelphia is still Irish American.
Oh, I believe that.
Oh
Boston is
yeah,
probably even more. I would say,
probably more. Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah. But now, so is your mother a singer as well?
Not professionally, but it all started with her. She always sang at church and stuff, and then she ran our school choir when I was a kid,
Wow.
and always sang. But she also comes from Filipino families are also very musical as
Oh, I
well.
know that because I have a lot
Oh
of Filipino
yeah,
friends, and they have the most beautiful voices.
they're
Like,
pretty crazy. Yeah.
yeah, they have, but they're singers, real singers. You
Yeah.
know, like and their range, like my Filipino friends, whether they're female or male, the range is so
Hmm.
you know. So
Yeah,
that
a
makes
lot of
total
like singing is a big part of Filipino
yep.
culture, and karaoke, huge part of Filipino culture.
Yeah. Did you grow up with a karaoke machine? Because a lot of my Filipino friends did. It was like a big to do.
I had one. Every single one of my relatives had one. I always tell people that when my grandmother from the Philippines passed away when I was 15, we spent the entire week doing karaoke.
See? Yeah. Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
total sense.
it was my grandma's raucous karaoke funeral.
Well, I listen, how wonderful to celebrate people as they were and
Oh
what they
yeah, I
love. I
agree.
think that's what's important. So
Hmm.
let's remind everybody. So this is Chrissy and Dan Pardo. They're a married couple. They happen to be incredibly talented and super sweet. They have a show this Monday, the 31st at 7 p.m. It's at Chelsea Table and Stage. And we're going to, yeah, there's the poster, but I'm going to share it on my wall as well so people can go and scan it. Or for the live stream, what do they do? Is there a link? I think there's a
I
link,
think
right?
I think they send a link to your email, and then
Okay.
you have a day to watch it.
Yeah, I love that. And I love all your posters. Who took your pictures?
So interesting story. We were like, well, we should have some photos in Pennsylvania, and except we're busy, and photos cost money. And so these are actually our engagement photos for
They're from
11,
11 years
11
ago.
years ago. So
I love
uh,
that. Well, you
it
look
was
the
called
same.
Thank
JPG
you.
Photography out of Philly. And these were taken in downtown Philly, actually in Elfreth Alley, one of the most historic neighborhoods in the entire country.
Oh, I love that. Now, I want to ask you, last year, did you have a big anniversary last year and you went to Paris,
Yeah,
right?
that was
10 years.
10
10 years
years
married.
last
Yeah.
May, yes.
Wow. And I,
Yeah,
I
we've been.
love those pictures. Those are beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah,
How was
it
that
was
trip?
that was a dream come true. Oh my God. We did 5 days in Paris, and then we spent another 5 days. We rented a car and we drove a big circle around the entire country in 5 days.
It was
Really?
it was really cool.
Yeah, we were just driving around France for 10 days, eating meat and cheese out of the back of our car.
And seeing
Unbelievable,
castles
right?
along the way and
Yeah,
going to
castles and monasteries, and
ice. We went to the Alps
we
and
saw Mont Blanc. We went to the beach. We saw the ocean. It was yeah, it was a like a bucket list sort of trip. I was like, how much time do we have, and how much can we reasonably do?
I love
Honestly, it
that.
wasn't as tiring as I thought it was. I thought it was going to be.
and she didn't yell at me for my driving nearly as much as I thought she was going to.
Oh, yeah. No, that's tough. Listen, couples, I know all about it. Couples,
Hmm.
it's rough to travel together. Unless you're, like easy. So this is great. It sounds like it was really cool. And I followed you on Facebook. I was like, they're having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's true about the food in Europe. It's so good. Like you can just keep eating it because it's, there's not a lot of preservatives in it. It's like
Yeah,
Italy.
they
Go
had
ahead.
just have healthy options just like
Yeah.
available. Like they sell gazpacho in milk cartons
Oh,
in
yeah.
France.
Oh my God, I love gazpacho.
Yeah. It's like a milk carton
Fantastic.
full of it. We're like in the car chugging gazpacho. We're like, we need
I
vegetables.
love
Yeah.
it. That's
Yeah.
great. Are you not a vegetarian, either one of you, right?
No,
No,
All right.
not anymore.
I
vegetable
know.
enthusiasts, but yeah,
Yes,
not
me too.
vegetarians.
That's how I am. I like to eat it because we grew up. My dad always had a garden, so we grew up eating fresh vegetables.
Well, funny you
So
say that because Chrissy's a big. One of the things we love to do in Pennsylvania is, you know,
I actually keep a very large vegetable garden at my parents' house in Pennsylvania. In fact,
really,
I start all the seeds here in Manhattan, and I take them to Pennsylvania and I put them in the ground there, and we grow, several hundred pounds of our own produce every single year.
what?
it's a big operation.
That's phenomenal. So you start the seeds here, like what, like in little pots and stuff,
Trays.
Yeah, we have seed
trays.
trays, and we have a big light that we jerry rig to a bookshelf. And then when it's time to bring the trays outside, I open up my window and I stick them on top of my air conditioner.
This is fantastic.
Yeah,
This is like a whole side hustle thing. I love this. And then
yeah,
you
it's
bring them to Pennsylvania. Wow.
and then I grow them there, and then we get mixed results because my parents are pretty busy people, so they're not as they don't babysit the plants the same way I do.
Yeah.
But I think the big winners last year, we had some fantastic tomatoes and eggplants.
Mhm.
I love two things that I love. I just love both of those things.
Yeah,
And a tomato that you grow yourself is like 1,000 times better than
Yeah.
No
tomatoes that you
competition.
buy. No, you
yeah,
can't
it's
even.
incredible.
Maria, as a tomato lover, what do you think of grape tomatoes?
Actually, I have them tonight in my
Oh,
food. I like them. My favorite. I have them in here tonight. I have mixed feelings about grape tomatoes, though.
I think they're very the Pennsylvanians like that they're practical and hearty, but they
Yeah,
just when you eat it next to a cherry tomato, it's night and day. There's no
yeah,
competition.
I agree. My favorite tomatoes are that I buy. My favorite tomatoes are the ones my dad used to grow, but that that's phases out as years go on. But um, the closest I've ever had to my dad's tomatoes, Trader Joe's has these San Marzano tomatoes that are small,
We
and
like
they're
those.
really, really good. But they're not as good as anybody that the Italians that I knew that I grew up with growing them. And my Uncle Joe, who was my cousin Rena's dad, he was like an incredible, like in their little backyard, he grew incredible vegetables. And those tomatoes are just like you can smell them from the second floor.
Yeah.
You're like, and the basil. You grow basil as well?
Oh yeah, we had basil coming out of our ears last year. Yeah, it was a lot.
Big in Philly. Philly people love their basil.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I made a lot of pesto out of it. We're not out of it yet. We still have a little bit left, so it's just in time for me to start some new basil.
Chrissy puts it into ice cube trays and we freeze
Yes,
them.
that's the way to do it. My dad used to do that.
Yep, and then we have pesto all winter long. It's nice.
So smart. It's so smart. Well, okay, listen, I don't want to keep you because I know you have to start working, Dan. And
Yeah,
Chrissy,
I probably
thank you
should.
so much. I wore my Christopher Street shirt because I know that's where you are right now.
Oh, nice.
So I can't thank you enough for making the time. See, they came to get you.
It's Dante.
Oh, it's just Dante. Well, hi, Dante. Love
Maria
you.
says hi.
All right. So I'll let you guys go.
We'll be ready in
Thank
like the
you.
next 15.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And we'll keep promoting your show, okay? Love
Great.
you guys.
Maria,
Thank
can I repost this? This conversation was great, which is unsurprising because you're the best.
You're the best. You can put it anywhere you like, honey. You have my permission.
All right.
Thank you. And Chrissy, what a nice time we had together. I never get to talk to you for this long because
I know you're always so busy when I come to Brandy's.
I know, but it's so nice to talk to you, honey. And we'll continue
Likewise.
this another time, okay?
Okay.
All
Bye,
right.
Maria. Thank
Love
you.
guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you
Bye.
so much. Yay. Oh my God. The Pardos. Chrissy and Dan Pardo. How sweet are they? Dan and I work together quite a bit at Brandy's, and we've worked together at Stonewall, and also like if we have parties at Stonewall. Lots of times I like to have what I call musician parties. And Leo's been to, when Leo lived here, Leo's been to my, and I started having them at my house because I have so many friends that are musicians that I just love, and we're always working, right? So we don't get to hang out with each other because we're working, even if people come to where you work. But I said I'm going to make a ton of food and just invite my friends over, and it's just the best. And I'm going to start doing that again, by the way, soon. Yes, tuna fish sandwiches. Who put that up, Leo? Who said that about the tuna fish sandwiches? Oh my God, my friends go crazy for my tuna fish sandwiches, which is so funny because they're just what my mother used to make on Fridays. Because the Catholics, you have to have fish on Fridays. So that's so funny. Hey, Tommy, love you, Maria. Tommy Harris, who is my friend, incredible guitar player and sound guy and co-teacher at Road Recovery. Hi, buddy. Love you, honey. I owe you some sauce. I usually try to bring them sauce when we do shows, our Road Recovery shows, but I just was up to my eyeballs. In the last 2 years, and I'm not complaining because I am so grateful to have an apartment in New York that I adore and I feel is my home, and I've been here 18 years. But sometimes in these old buildings, there's problems that come up, and in this particular side of the building, there's a lot of pipes that burst and stuff because, as the plumber said, this building was built in 1908, and sometimes some of those pipes are the original pipes. So the bad news is that, right, that sometimes there's been a few leaks over the years. The good news is that when they fix it, then I get new stuff, like I got a new kitchen floor and new cabinets, and so I'm so excited about that. And a little at a time, I just have to put everything back. That's what stinks. But that's why I haven't had any musician parties in the last 2 years, because there's been a lot of repairs in my apartment. But things you're looking up. Jill Crozian says, hi, y'all. Hi, sweetheart. Good to see you. What else do we have? Tommy says, hello. Danielle. Maria is a lifetime duty for the fabulous Lori and John. Yes, absolutely. And I just want to make sure we didn't miss anybody. Now, I usually also watch the show on my phone. Hey, Lynn Portis, genius. It all get done. Yes, Linny, it did all get done. Now, and they had to also oh my God, my closet behind my kitchen was leaking. It was crazy. But that got redone too. So good things are happening. And I don't want to just stuff everything back in the closet. I want to get organized. Speaking of organized, I have been listening to these wonderful books, and Linny knows what a pack rat I am. I'm a pack rat. But this woman, her name is Dana White, and she wrote these great books, and they're short reads or listens, because I listen to books a lot. And just Dana White, look her up. She has many different books on decluttering, managing your home, getting rid of stuff you don't need. And she does it in such a sweet way. And she's like, she tells on herself. So it's not just, you should do this, you should this. She's like, you're not going to believe what I did. So it's really great. Oh, there it is. Leo, you're the best. Decluttering at the Speed of Life. Yes, start with that book. And it really changes everything. Like she also has kids. So one of the conceptions that, the concepts that she has that I love is that everything is a container. Your apartment is a container, of course, for your stuff. That's like George Carlin stuff, right? But like she has certain drawers, and once they're filled, they're filled. You can't buy any more socks if your sock drawer is filled. And if you do buy more socks, you got to get rid of some of the ones you have. So those books I can't say enough about this author. She has kind of saved my life, and when it comes to decluttering, because I'm a real pack rat. And so it's getting so much better. And now the last one I read was something about managing your house without losing your mind. It was that one. And it's about getting organized. So they're really good reads or listens, and you can just keep listening. And she also has a blog. I can't remember what it's called. but she calls it deslobification. And I love it. And she says, I'm telling on myself, I'm a slob. And it's so great because she works, she's a teacher, and she has 3 kids. And so when I listen to her, I always feel like there's hope. So a plug for that. Now, Leo's having some problems with his camera tonight, so that's why we're not seeing as much Leo as we normally do. Joshua Glennie, oh my God, honey. It's been like, I'm going to say 2 years since we talked or I saw you. Has it been 2 years? Anyway, Joshua is wonderful. And we got to try to make this happen where we see each other more. The good news about my friends is they're all busy and have these amazing, productive lives. The bad news is that we don't get to see each other a lot because of that. Oh, thank you, Leo. I was going to bring that up. Okay, so speaking of friends, my friend Larry Fish is just the sweetest guy. He's a producer. He produces a lot of stuff on Broadway. Sweeney Todd was the last thing we went to see. A bunch of us from Brandy's. We all got together. It was such a nice day. And we got to see Sweeney Todd with Anna Lee Ashford. She was incredible. And Josh Groban. Oh, my God. It was last year. It was so good. So, Larry, thank you for that. And we all hung out with Larry. It was lovely. But Larry is also a comedian. So, and I was trying to get Larry on the show tonight, but he's traveling, and he really tried. It was this morning that he finally was like, I'm not going to be able to do it. But we want to promo Larry. So he is if you're in the Boca Raton area on Saturday, April 19th, or you're going to be down there, it's a comedy night. And it's, let me see, where is the club? Now I didn't, but it's called Comedy, Club, no, this is something else. ComicCure.com. So www.comiccure.com. I don't know if it's a benefit, but it's him and Joe Matarese. There's a 6 o'clock show and an 8:30 show. And if you probably have seen Joe Matarese 1,000 times. He's a great, really funny Italian comedian. So go and check them out if you're in the Boca Raton area. Go to Comic Cure, that's 2 C's, comic and then cure.com, and check that out. I also want to put a shout out to Club Cafe, which is where I did my show with Lynn Portis 3 years ago at Club Cafe for my birthday. My 60th birthday. I'm going to be 63 this year. Can you believe that? Time flies. But I did my show there at Club Cafe, and I had the most amazing experience. David Whitman, who was the manager there, just lovely. Yes, Club Cafe. It's an incredible place in Boston that I just love. They have shows, they have dancing, they have really, really good food. They have a smaller room in the front that's very intimate. People do open mics, and they're starting their open mic series again. So this Saturday, March 29th, it's called Cabaret Spotlight, and I believe it starts at 7. So they're going to start doing their series. They have this woman, Jan Peters, that ran it for years and years and years, and sadly she passed away. So now they're starting it up again in her honor, which is great. So go, if you're in the Boston area and you're looking for something fun to do. I can't say enough about Club Cafe, and the food is delicious. And the vibe there is so cool. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have to go back there. So, and I'm hoping to do a show there again, maybe next year, maybe for my birthday next year. But this year, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it yet, but I think it's okay. I'm going to be doing a show with Lynn Portis and Greg Schlotthauer at Green Room 42 on Sunday, May 25th at 9:30. So if you're in town, I know a lot of people travel around that time, or maybe they travel and they come back. Or if you're going to be in town, I'm going to be doing a show at Green Room 42, which I just love that room so much. I saw Melissa Driscoll's show there. Shanna Sharp, I live streamed that show. I so many good shows that I've live streamed there when I can't work. The Company of Outsiders. What is this? Sold out. A Broadway Cares fundraiser. A-list. Oh, okay. So this is Green Room 42. Yeah, they have I mean, if you're looking for fun stuff to do, go and check it out. They always have so much great stuff going on. So always go and check that out. Natalie Joy Johnson, oh my God, she is so funny. You're not going to be able to breathe. She's so funny. And she's really talented singer. So there's always great stuff there, and I can't say enough about him. And maybe we'll have Ben on sometime. Ben Remmelauer, he runs the show there. So we're throwing a lot of stuff at you. Leo, are you? Oh, I don't know if Leo can join us because I think his cameras have giving him problems. But let's do the food section of our show, shall we? I love Club. Who said that? Lynn Portis. I love Club Cafe. We did a great show there, Maria. Yes, we did, Lynn. And then Lynn bought me a T-shirt, and I wear it all the time, Lynn. I don't know if you know that. And I think of you every time I wear it. It's such a great space, and they treated us like queens, like just such beautiful people there. Thank you, David Whitman, who is a really good friend of Jim Lazar, who is the owner of Brandy's. Now, speaking of Brandy's, Brandy's is being honored at the MAC Awards. The MAC Awards are April 10th. Brandy's is being honored, and Jim Lazar is getting that honor, as it should be. It's one of the greatest places on the planet Earth, and I work there Fridays and Saturdays, and it's the best place I've ever worked. And I don't mind telling you that. My friend Susan Miller says that all the time. She goes, and she opens everything by going, and I don't mind telling you, and then she tells you. So, and I don't mind telling you, Brandy's is the best place I've ever worked, and Jim is the best boss I've ever had. So, yeah, the MAC Awards, Symphony Space, there's your ticket link, 39th Annual MAC Awards. John Bronston is the musical director, and he is friggin' phenomenal. That guy this week has been to Connecticut, New York, Indiana, and California. He's going to California to do something, and then he's coming back to work on Saturday night. I mean, it's insane. So get your tickets to the MAC Awards. It's a big symphony space. It's beautiful, but the tickets do sell out, and it's a great night. They don't just give out awards. There's big performances as well. So it's great. I got to see Marilyn May last year, Norm Lewis, just so many amazing people, you know. So that's what's going on in town. And I guess we should do our food. Yeah, we have about 10 minutes left. Okay, let me just take a sip of tea out of my mother's cup. Rena will recognize this. These are my mother's cups that she gave me. Okay, so the section of our show is called Go Ahead, Keep Eating. We do a food section of the show every week. I try very hard to keep myself creative as I interview the most creative people ever. And how great that we have all these amazing people week after week after week, like the Pardos, like Chrissy and Dan Pardo. And I did not know about her vegetable garden. Now I'm really like a huge fan. I'm a huge fan. I already was, but now really I'm sold on the Pardos. Okay, so what did I make tonight? I'm on the keto because I have to lose weight for the MAC Awards so I can get into my pants and my jacket. And that's the thing with me. I will not go up a size. I refuse. So that's what I do. When I have to dress up nice, I go on my keto. So what did I make on keto tonight? I went into a little place around the corner from me called La Rosa. And I bought some delicious flounder. And in the what I do with the flounder is I marinated it in bacon flavored olive oil from the Boston Olive Oil Company, which is now the Saratoga Olive Oil Company. They've merged. But it's bacon flavored olive oil. Could you die? So I marinated it in that, scallions, red peppers, and Old Bay, citrusy garlic, which is a spice you can get at Trader Joe's. Rena got it for me. And lemon and cherry. So I marinated it for about an hour, and then I pan-seared it. I just delicious. And then I got the vegetables going there, took the vegetables out so the oil was flavored with the vegetables too. Then I threw everything in there. The fish, beautiful. This is going to be so good. And it's vegetables and protein, and I can have it. There's no breading on it. It's just that it gets like a little bit of a crust from just the stuff that's in the pan. So that is what I'm eating tonight. Super healthy, but delicious. And then for my salad, look at this gorgeous. I don't mind telling you, this is a gorgeous salad. And what do we have in this tonight? We have Boston lettuce, grape tomatoes, which Dan was asking me about, grape tomatoes, purple onion, cilantro, avocado, and lime. Now, for my, anybody that knows me knows I love salads. I love salads. I was one of those kids. And I buy a lot of really cool oil and vinegar. So from the New England Olive Oil Company, which is my favorite, and they're right in Concord, Massachusetts, where my sister has a shop, pink guava balsamic vinegar. Can you believe that? Pink guava balsamic vinegar and a roasted onion olive oil. So that's what's in this. Look at that. Is that a gorgeous salad? Can't wait to eat that. Sometimes, I've been spoiling myself rotten. I put truffle salt on it because that's how I roll. And I'm worth truffle salt. Now, for dessert, that's the only problem with keto. Not a lot of dessert options. But so I have strawberries here I took some cashews and I chopped them up. And then what I put a little bit of Splenda, which I love. And then I'm going to put some whipped cream. And it tastes like like strawberry ice cream. I just smash everything up together. And it's so good. So that's my dessert. Look, you know what? I wish I was eating a chocolate ganache cake. But I can't right now. Got to fit into those pants for the MAC Awards. So that's what happens. Okay. Leo, shall we remind them of our calendars? I think we can. So we have a calendar. Leo puts this together. I solicit all these friends of mine to get semi-nude and just wear the apron. It's called the Nothing But the Apron calendar. And my friends volunteer year after year after year to be in our calendar. So this month, it is, speaking of Brandy's, it's the doorman for Brandy's. His name is Will. And this is his submission. So we want to thank Will from the Bronx. He's our doorman. He's really cute and sweet. And these are only $12. So if you want one, I still have a bunch. If you want one, please let me know. And you can either pick them up for me at any place of the jobs I work. I always have them with me. Or if you want me to mail them out, just add $3. So it would be just 15 and I'll get it to you. Okay. And they're really fun. Every month has a hottie. Some months have 2 hotties. So for $12, how much are you really spending per hottie? 80 cents. I mean, come on. So oh my God, that was Adam. Adam was Mr. February. Look at him at the gym. He's a comedian, by the way, and he's so funny. Adam Sank. Look up Adam Sank. So thank you, Leo, for doing that from behind the scenes, my little honey. I'm sorry that, oh my God, and Kelvin Moonlow was Mr. January. Kelvin has been in numerous Broadway shows. SpongeBob SquarePants, Beetlejuice, and he has performed at the Kennedy Center before this year. Let's put it that way. When the Kennedy Center was the Kennedy Center. Corey was Miss December last year. So many hotties. I'm telling you, we get hotties in these things. Go and check it out. I'd like a calendar, says Joshua Glenny. Joshua, honey, just Facebook message me your address. I will get it right out to you. You will love it. Calendar is great. It's always good. And Mark Katzoff says you did. I think he was talking about Club Cafe. Mark, can I just shout out to Mark? And Linny will back me up on this. Mark Katzoff is so supportive of everything we do. He lives in Boston, but he travels to New York for work quite a bit. And he comes to everything we do. And he also goes to Stonewall and supports the gang. I think he's there tonight. He goes to seeks Sarah Glassman, no matter where she is. Oh, and he'll go to anywhere, like the townhouse. Sarah's at the townhouse quite a bit, but so is Dan. So now going back to Dan Pardo, you can find Dan Pardo at the Townhouse. You can find him at Stonewall. I don't know exactly what nights Dan works at the Townhouse. If anybody does know, type it in. But yes, Lenny, I agree with you. Mark with 1,000 exclamation points and millions of hats, as they say in Massachusetts. So many goddamn hats. That's what my sister sounds like, by the way. But anyway, but I love my little sister. Okay, so I want to just, I know we're almost at the end of our show. I want to try to pull up show on my other page so I can, in case I missed anybody, because that happens where people are. Gavon's Produce, by the way, is back in action. And Gavon's Produce, our friend Chris DiPiero is the writer, director, and producer, and he's also in it. He stars in it as well. I can't say enough about Gavon's Produce. Please, please, just go to YouTube and type in Gavone apostrophe S, Gavon's Produce. And you will die laughing. There's some great acting, and amazing filmmaking. And the writing is really incredibly fun. So please, please, you're going to love this. It's going to become like a cult favorite for you. Gavon's Produce, created, directed, written, and starring my friend Chris DiPiero, who is a gem amongst gems. And Lynn Portis scores the entire thing. So she writes all the music for this. Lynn Portis, genius.
Hi, I'm here to see Petey. I'm Gabriel. Lucas sent me.
Lucas sent you? Really? Lucas sent you? You're Gabriel? You know what this job entails? Hey, Gabriel.
So that's one of the scenes. There's so many scenes, and there's so many episodes. Please go and check them out, especially the ones with Silvana Mastrolia, who is one of our favorites. Silvana's been on the show many, many, many times. And that's Jerry Mastrolia's aunt Mame, as he would say. Okay. Leo, I don't think you're able to join us, right? That's what I'm getting, honey. Okay, sweetheart. Well, so we're going to start to wind down, but let me just check if anybody else has joined us on this. No. Okay, good. All right. So another great thing about our show is you can watch it anytime you like. We go live from 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern. However, we have what are we up to? 390 episodes. This is 390 episodes, and they are all archived on YouTube. If you just prefer to listen to the podcast, no problem. You go to so on YouTube, we're What's the Story with Maria. If you go to what'sthestorywithmaria.com, thank you, Leo, for creating that website. You can click on any of the podcast sites. So Spotify, iHeartRadio, Salvin, YouTube, Spreaker, Castbox, all of them. Amazon Music, and you can listen to our podcast. Leo has archived all of them. So what would I do without Leo? And I hope that computer glitch gets fixed soon, because we need to see Leo's cute little adorable face. It's not fair that he's somewhere in the abyss tonight. I love you so much, Lynn Portis. Genius. And Leo. Oh my God. We love Leo. Leo's fantastic, and he's doing 3,000 things all the time, and then manages to also do our shows. But if you need a website, either tweaked, created, redone, please, Leo, you're cracking me up. Please go and hit up Leo. He will do it for you. He's an amazing gun for hire. As busy as he is, he always finds the time. So, but give him a heads up. Don't just throw something at him the last minute. He makes video promos for people. I know he does that for Lavinia and Janine Molinari and Dance Molinari, all kinds of things. So if you're someone that needs that kind of work, please, Leo is your gun for hire. Okay, we have a minute left to our show. And usually this is the part of the show where I ask my guests if they could leave us with some words of encouragement for the rest of us creatives out there that may be stuck or maybe down. I will remind you, I don't have to remind you, we're in a very, very, very tumultuous time. We're going to look back at this time, just like we look back at COVID. When we were in it, we were stressed out to the max. And then we look back and we were glad that we took care of each other. That was one of the silver linings, that we got creative. That was a silver lining, that we wrote a lot of music, all that stuff. I am encouraging you to do two things. One is, you see that number up there, 202-224-3121. That is your elected officials, the general switchboard for your elected officials. Call it and tell them how you feel. They work for you, remember that. You elect them and they work for we the people. Tell them what you need. Go to town halls. So that's the number, 202-224-3121. Go to town halls, read good articles, follow, join groups, and be part of the movement, be part of the revolution, because this is our country, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And crazy things are happening, but fear is the enemy. One of my friends texted me that. Fear is the enemy. And you know what? It's okay to have a little bit of a healthy fear, but let's get out there and let's come together as a group. Remember, now it really is us against them, right? It's not, let's not make it us against us anymore. Let's make it, I personally am making a vow to save my country. I'm going to save my country. And I've talked to a lot of people from all over the world, because I have the luxury of working in these piano bars and tourists come to visit. And I can't tell you how many Canadians I've been talking to that are so sad about what's happening. They're so sad. And they said they've never felt unsafe here. And they feel unsafe here. That's awful. So let's reach out to our friends in Canada, in Mexico, in Europe, in Ukraine, if you have that connection, and tell them we love them and we do not feel that way about them. That's not what America is. America is that shining star, that Lady Liberty, and all are welcome here. So let's be the voice of America. The news is going to be the news, and the crazies are going to be the crazies, and we can't stop them. There's no way. And I don't think they'll ever stop. But we can have conversations with each other. Tell people you love them. I hug people all the time. Strangers, I hug strangers all the time. It feels really great. So go and be a good person in the world. Go and create. Do not lose hope. Do not lose sight. Ground yourself and go. And I love you. I appreciate you. I know Leo loves and appreciates you. And next week, Leo will get his beautiful face back on. Come and see us every week, Tuesdays, 9 to 10 Eastern. We love and appreciate you. Good night.